We are here at Methven for what they've properly named as the Three Wise Men Day. What a beautiful day it is, and Maurice McKendry joins me. Firstly, must be great playing at home, and the club, what they've put on here today. It's just a great day, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's it's good to come back and race on. I've always thought it was one of the best grass tracks in New Zealand, so yeah, it's great to be taking part.
You're a local. Have you lived here like your whole life?
No, I left here when I was about 19 and went north and got a bit of luck when I went up there, you know. Yeah.
How did it come to the reason? Sorry, I should have said people. The reason it actually come about this is the three of you have driven 3,000 winners, about 3,500, I think, from memory. You're roughly at. How did it all come about for you? How did you get your start in harness racing?
Yeah, well, I ended up working for a local fella, Alistair Kerslake, and he had a few good Derby horses at the time, and I worked for him for about four or 5 years, and then I got a job up at North Island with Irvin Burns, and he gave me a good opportunity. I drove in driving most of the team, you know. So.
Did you leave school to be a harness person, or?
Yeah, I just liked working with the horses. I didn't really worry about. I just liked the way horses ticked, and I liked working with them. And then I sort of had the opportunity to drive, and yeah, it just unfolded like that. Yeah.
No family background?
Yeah, the O'Reillys are all my first cousins, and my grandfather had horses. He sort of got me interested in them because he just lived across the paddock, just over there. Yep. And my brother and me used to always go across and sit on the side of the cart with him, and that's how we sort of got interested, yeah.
So the trip up north was one to get yourself going, I suppose, get away and try and have a bit of a different crack?
Yeah, just try something different, and I got a job up there, and I ended up driving a lot of winners, as a junior driver, and went on from there.
How tough was it? Like I was talking to Tony, and some of the names he rattled off, like, he was like learning from these guys as well. But you've got to go out there and try and compete against them. I mean, how hard was it? How competitive was it out there? Yeah,
it was a lot competitive, because you had to. It was when the push-out rules, and you had to have your horse right up, and you had to be on your guard. It was a lot softer the way we race today. It's sort of more user-friendly. And them old fellas, they didn't give an inch,
Well, cameras weren't the same either, so they could get away with a little bit more, couldn't they?
Yeah. There was a lot of hard racing, but all the videos ruined it all.
Does that stand you in good stead? You reckon? Like later on, like once you learn from them, and you probably go away, you're thinking, I can't believe you done that to me, and all the rest. But after a period of time, if you're strong enough, you learn from it. Yeah,
that's right. You sometimes you just got to take it on the chin, and what goes around comes around, doesn't it? But it's like we come through a good era, I think, and now it's a different era, but different type of racing, but it's more speed now, isn't it? It's the horses got a bit quicker overall, I think.
How old were you when you started driving, Ricky? Sorry, Maurice.
I probably got my licence down here when I was about 18 and a half, in them days, and young guys were just starting to get a go then, there wasn't too many of them got a go, but that was the start of the change, Yeah.
It's quite interesting because Tony, I think he started as soon as he could, but Ricky was a little bit the same. He didn't start until he was about 19. You guys sort of took your time and all the rest, so you can still achieve plenty of winners, that's for sure, even if you do take your time.
Yeah, we're just lucky, the guys that we were with, and the stables that supported us at the time, so we were lucky, really. Yeah.
Been associated with a lot of good horses, and I think you probably, it's one of the tough questions to sort of say, what's your best horse? But I don't want to say necessarily your best. It's a bit like Ricky as well, it's almost trying to pick your kids sometimes, and you don't want to upset anyone. But some of the best horses you've been around and associated with.
Probably. I had some real good horses, but earlier on, I think one of the best horses I had when I first kicked off, I drove him as a junior driver and was Pleasant Command, and he was a 3-year-old, and I won his first race on him. I think it was my first winner, and he went through to open class, so he taught me a lot, and I had a lot of wheels with him, and he still kept going, and but he was a great horse to me, and sort of put me on the map a bit,
And he went through to open class?
Yeah, he did, yeah. He was a pretty good horse, Yeah.
that'd be a pretty amazing feat back then, because I would imagine when you get on a juvenile horse, if you like, that's coming through its ranks, a lot of the senior drivers would have been nipping at your heels, trying to probably wide ant you, if you like, and get on the drive.
Yeah, but the boss at the time, like Irvin Burns, trained him, and he just left me on, and it was great, So so that was a big help, I think, starting off. Yeah.
Some of the other horses you've been associated with, the better ones, or any of the good ones that you've got a soft spot for?
Yeah, like I've been lucky. I drove, like, David Moss was a great trotter, and when he was right, and I won a lot of derbies on Race Ruler. Yep. He was a very good horse. The Orange Agent recently, and copy that. I drove Bonnie's Chance one night before the Auckland Cup. Richard got suspended, I think, and or was crook or something like that. And I was only a young guy then, and I got to drove this Bonnie's Chance, and she gave me the wow factor, So you sort of remember them sort of things, Yeah.
David Moss, you said about him. I remember him. There was something special about him. He was a very, very tall horse, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he probably wasn't but they used to call him the Monster Moss in Aussie, didn't they? And but he had a big stride on him and that. But he was beautiful when he was right. He was a beautiful trotter. He was powerful. Yeah.
Did you have a preference, trotters or pacers?
Not really. No, as long as they could run. I drove Chokin too. Like, that was when Tony ended up driving him, but I drove him as a 2-year-old and won his first couple of races on him, but he was an exceptional horse then, but it was sold for big money, and so. I
asked Tony, what was his best horse he drove, and Chokin. He was it. He just said it was something special, and he's a little bit like even the other. Like, I remember David Moss when I was in Australia, and he came over and he had that presence about him. But Chokin's Terra de Love with Ricky May, they had that bit of a presence. And when you went out on the track, I'm sure you guys realised that everyone was sort of looking at you and saying, "Well, look at this horse," and probably watching. Do you enjoy that sort of pressure when you're on those style of horses?
Well, you don't mind it, because they're good horses and they often cover up your mistakes, but but when they're great horses, it's a good buzz, Do you
remember driving Chokin the first start?
Yeah, he's a big gawky fella earlier on, but he always, I remember driving at the trials and that, when he was first kicking, learning the game, and he'd be in sort of impossible positions, but he'd still get up, and he was just as he got older, he got better and better, Yeah.
Just had that raw speed, if you like.
Yeah, real speed. Yeah.
Do you enjoy the game as much now as what you did when you were 18, 19?
Oh, yeah. We just, we're a lot older now, but we just, slowed up a little bit, but I just train a couple and do a wee bit of driving and that, so I still enjoy it, so yeah, it's good.
You've got a fair book of drives today. It's been great what the club have put on here today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, they're trying hard and trying something different, so you got to do something different, don't you,
Yeah, we definitely do. The industry as a whole, like, a lot of people say, it's not going that great. It's the same in Australia. I mean, we've all just got to do it differently, and I don't think it's going as bad as what a lot of people think it is. I think we probably get too hard on ourselves, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, well, even the football's struggling with the professional era, and it's things are different to what it used to be. Like, it used to be a lot of voluntary work, didn't it?
And then we have $1 million race on the other night. You said there before about your association with Copy. That did you get a kick out of that the other night?
Yeah, he's a great wee horse, and it's good to see them, whizzing around there at that speed they're going and that, so. Yeah, it was a bit of a buzz. Yeah.
Did you ring Ray and say, "Hey, don't forget me"?
Oh no, he's been good to me, so. Yeah, no, it's bloody good.
That $1 million racing and that, is that something when you started out you're thinking, I would be racing for $1 million? I mean, New Zealand has one of the claims of, well, he was actually, Caduceus, he was the second horse ever, thoroughbred or standardbred, to win $1 million. He was the second horse ever, but I mean, $1 million race in New Zealand. Did you ever think that was on the cards when you were younger?
No, you didn't think it, but years ago, I remember I was in a $600,000 Derby, Great Northern Derby, when Winston Peters put that money through, and I ran third, and he only got 60,000. He couldn't believe it, So yeah, if we can get back to that, it'd be great, isn't it?
But it's not all about the money. It's it's also it's about the industry and the friends you make, and then I suppose the banter you have. And I'm sure you got plenty. I interrupted you while you were having a good chat with a few people there. That's one of the great things about our game, though, is that you can have so many great memories.
Yeah, that's right. And especially these days like this, I think there's a place for the old grass track. It's more relaxed, and people can sit out and have a bit of a sandwich and a cup of tea out here, and it's great, isn't it?
And have a fair bit of banter as well.
Yeah, do right. A bit of banter.
Definitely. Maurice, thank you. Congratulations on 3,000. I mean, you've been there for a little while, but congratulations. You're trying to eye off 4,000?
No, it doesn't interest me.
Are you going to continue to ride for a little bit longer?
Oh, I will for a wee bit longer, yeah.
But I don't want to be the one to announce your retirement, but I'm glad you said that.
No, I'll drive for a bit longer, and I'll see what happens. Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining me, mate, and congratulations for everything you've done for the sport, and thank you for joining me.
Okay, thanks very much.